Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode with your girl Audrey Codner from ACG Math Tutoring. If you are struggling with math, and you've always have, and you just want to actually have a place to feel confident, well, this is the platform for you. If you are working on getting your GED, your ASVAB, your AccuPlacer, your TEAS test, any of the nursing programs where they deal with the basic math, also for Praxis with the basic math, Praxis 1, and maybe even elementary Praxis as well. The IBEW, anything that has to deal with algebra. If you're in college algebra and you need all the basic components, this is the live for you. So we are going to get down to the nitty of the gritty. We're not even going to get worried about going from point A to point B and all the tapping. If you can tap, that would be great. If you just want to learn it, we can learn it. All right. So what we're learning today is multiplying polynomials, okay? So as I keep saying, I'm not going to be on a consistent level. If you want something on a consistent level, I do have courses where you can purchase, which will be a lot cheaper than my tutoring program. But if you're currently in a community college and you're trying to get your college algebra degree going, hey, hire me for a tutor and I got you. But this is definitely going to be on the GED as well as the ASVAB, because this is always a question that everyone else asks. But there is a different levels of multiplying polynomials. The main thing that you really need to understand is we're dealing with the distributive property. Some people know it as FOIL. FOIL is only basically used when you're multiplying binomials, two terms in a parenthesis. So you can do the FOIL method, aka the distributive property if you extend it, and also you can do what's called the box method. So I'm going to try to show all three, and you pick which one works best for you. All right, so here we go. So if we have 7 times negative 5v minus 8. Okay, so we have what's called a monomial, single, 1. Okay, and inside this parenthesis, we have a binomial. There's two terms. This negative 5v, that is a term. The 8, that is a term. So we have a monomial multiplying to a binomial. So all we're going to do is the distributive property. So we're going to distribute and multiply. We're not foiling, because foiling deals with 4 letters, okay? We're only just distributing that 2 to everything inside the parenthesis. So positive 7 times negative 5 gives me a negative 35. The 7 doesn't have a v, but the 5 does, so that v comes on down. So we have 7 times a negative 8. That gives me a negative 56. Now, one other thing that we need to know, which I'll probably show later on, is when you're adding and subtracting polynomials, we cannot combine. These are not like terms, because this negative 35 has a v, but that negative 56 does not. So they are considered unlike terms. So this is as far as you can go. Okay. All right. Hey, Big Al. Hey, Reese. Ephraim. Were you struggling using the foil? Not a problem. You come at the right live. All right. So here is another way of looking at it. So we have 2x times negative 2x minus 3. Put that over for you can see. All right, not a problem. So we have 2x times negative 2x minus 3. Now, Although the 2 has a variable with it, this is still a monomial. Okay, the only way that they get separated is if you separate it with a plus or a minus. So we still have a monomial, and inside here, here's one term with the negative 2x, and here's another term with the 3. Okay, both the negative 2x and the 3 is being separated by this minus sign. So that's why this is a binomial, bi meaning 2. Okay, so we're going to do the exact same thing that we did for this one. We're going to distribute. So we're going to distribute this 2x to everything inside of its parenthesis. But here's the thing. Positive 2 times negative 2, that gives me a negative 4. All right, that seems like the norm. Nothing too crazy. But what's x times x? Okay, x times x is not 2x. What's x times x? There you go, Mia. Hello, Mia. Hello. Marvelli, how are you? X squared with beauty. Hey again. Chopper, okay, with the x squared. Yes. Evie, x squared. Good. Okay, so it's not 2x. Okay, so it is x times x gives me x squared. So when you're multiplying, you're adding the exponents. So this is why it's going to be a negative 4x squared. Good. Okay, Vero, good. Random, good. Random. Good. Okay, no random content. Put it back. Put it back. All right. Is that Lolly? All right. So now, positive 2x times a negative 3. A positive times a negative, that gives me a negative. 2x times 3, that will give me a 6x. Although the 3 didn't have an x, but the 2 did. Okay, so you have to bring that x with it. All right, good. There we go. Oh, you were talking about the other part. Okay, sorry, random. So put it back. Now, again, negative 4x squared minus 6x. These, although they both have x's, but they don't have the same type of x. This has an x squared. X squared means x times x. This has a singular version of an x. Okay, so these are not like terms. So this is your final for this expression. Okay. I know, it's late. It's been a crazy day. All right. Okay, questions on those two. Okay, I know people are coming in and all that stuff. Right? Distributed property is pretty fun. Okay. I did. Yes. You're so welcome, Aunt. Good job. I was like, I did. Okay. So is the answer a binomial? Yes, Maya. Yes, 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 yes. Good. All right. I try. All right. So, any other things? Love math? Hi. Girl, don't follow me. Okay. Good job. Give a little congratulations to Aunt passing the electrician exam. Good job. I love it. Love it. Okay. All right. Go. Fulfill your dream. Do it. All right. So, okay. This one I'm going to show you two ways. Well, not this one. I'm going to show you one way with this one. And then I'll expand. Because I don't want to overwhelm. Oh, I don't know about the best. Today, I'm not sure. Oh, why? Today I'm not sure. But I'm here. I'm here to educate. I could have easily canceled, but I was like, no. Because I know someone needs me. All right. Okay, Lily is saying 8n plus 3. Okay. Now, not tonight with the long division. Okay, not tonight with the long division. I will be doing that, though, this week. I'm definitely going to be doing that this week. All right. So now, we have 2n plus 2. So we have a binomial. And we have 6n plus 1. And we have another binomial. Okay? So we have a binomial being multiplied by a binomial. Now, this is when a lot of teachers like to say, you're going to do FOIL. So you got to do the first, the outer, the inner, and the last. Okay, ready, people? We're not in the classroom right now. Because this is what happens. You get so confused and so stressed out worrying about which one's the first, which one's the outer, which one's the inner, and which one's the last. Okay? And it screws you up big time. Then you start freaking out and then you shut down. So this is what I like to do. Let's keep it simple. You see how we did distributive property up here and here? We just took one term and we multiplied it to everything in the parenthesis, right? You are going to do the same thing, but you're going to do it twice. So, this is what's happening. I'm going to take my 2n and I'm going to distribute to everything in that second parenthesis. Okay, don't worry about which one's FOIL. Blah, blah, blah. Just take that first term and multiply it to everything in that second parenthesis. What would I get? Okay, what would I get? So I got big L's with the 12n squared plus 2n. Okay. All right, so that's going to be the first part. Let me see if anyone else put it up there as well. Okay, Ash is giving me 12n squared plus 14n plus 2. Random gave me 12n squared plus 14n plus 2. Okay. All right. So Liliana saying 12n plus 2n. Marvali, I can't speak today, is 12n plus 2. Okay, Maya's saying 12n squared plus 2n. Kaya, hey, 12n squared plus 2n. All right. Now we got that. There you go. With the 12n squared. Okay, good. Well, let me type. Yeah, the exponents. I get it. So, all right. So with the Isaac with the 12n squared plus 2n. Okay. Zowie? Yes. 12n plus 2. All right, let me show you. So we're multiplying 2n times 6n. 2 times 6, that gives us 12. N times n gives me n squared. Okay? Now, 2n times 1. Anything times 1 is itself. So we got plus 2n. So now we're going to take this positive 2. And we're going to distribute that to everything inside of the parenthesis. Okay? Everything in this first parenthesis is being distributed into what's happening in the second parenthesis. All right? This is when you get your yes. Random has my 12n plus 2. Chopper's number one fan, 12n plus 2. Now that's 12n plus 2. There you go. Let's cruise. I love it. Okay. All right. So Kai with the 12n plus 2. Cecilia, 12n plus 2. Shayla, 12n plus 2. Good. Okay. Excellent. So, since it's a plus, they're both positive, I'm going to attach that plus 12n, bring down my plus 2. Okay, how are we so far? Okay, Isaac, yes, I got you. Thank you for putting that plus down. This is Algebra 1. This is Algebra 1. Now, let's combine those like terms. Love it. Okay, right smack in the middle, people. Most of the times, a great majority of the times, your like terms are going to be right smack in the middle. Because 2n and 12n, they're like terms because they both have just one n. Whereas this 12n squared, that's not like terms with these single n's because this is 2 n's. Remember n times n? 2 n's is not the same as just having one n. Okay? So when we combine those two, we get our 14n. And what happens, this plus 2 comes on down. Okay, that's where this 2 came from. And since it's a positive 14, we're going to put a plus sign in front of the 14. And then we bring down our 12n squared. That's where that came from. Okay, good. Thank you. There you go, Shayla. Close. So these n's are not being multiplied. The only time you raise it to a degree is when you're multiplying. But when you're adding and you're combining like terms, you're just playing what's called the matching game. Remember the matching game years ago where it used to be little cards. And hell, there's matching games nowadays. Like when you try to match 3 things in a row and it cancels something out. Same thing. So basically, like, this is an apple, this is an apple, this is 2 apples, this is 12 apples, so altogether I got 14 apples, right? So you're playing the matching game when you're combining. Okay, there you go, Big Al, that's it. Got a little crazy with the plus signs, but that's all right. just snag one of those bad boys back. There you go. All right. So now, here, we don't have any like terms. Okay, this has n to the second power, that has n, this doesn't have an n. So this is when we stop. Okay, hey Janice, how are you? Okay, this is when you stop. All right, so let's try one more. I'm going to slide it over for a sec. Let's see if we can use as much as the space as possible. Okay. So I just feel, me personally, if I'm overstepping, I don't know. We do whatever we got to do. So we have 2a minus 1. And then we have 8a minus 5. Okay. I'm exhausted. But I'm here. I'm grateful. Thank you so much for the rose. I appreciate that. Okay, now, what should I combine first? Or what should I multiply first? I should put it that way. I don't want to... What am I distributing? So we can do our FOIL. We're doing the 2a to the 8a. There you go. the 2a to the 8a minus 5. There we go. The 2a times 8a. We can do that first. Good. Okay. Yes, the 2a and the 8a. There you go, Normie. Thank you. Right? Because sometimes I don't like to say FOIL. It is FOIL. We all know it very well. But it's hilarious, especially when people are like, when they see two numbers and they're trying to get the sign. And I can say, well, what's a negative times a negative? Right away, you say it's a positive. Like, we have that engraved in our heads. But then to apply it, it's almost like there's a small disconnect. Like, you know the rules, but it's that application piece that keeps messing with you, right? Okay, so let's multiply it. So we're going to distribute this 2a to everything in that second parenthesis. But let's start with 2a times 8a. What would that give me? Okay. What would that 2a times 8a give me? Okay, Faith. Hey, Faith, how are you? Welcome back. So 16a squared. Thank you. R and B, make sure you got your 16a, but don't forget about the square. Same thing, Erica. Same thing, Aunt. Okay? Because when you're doing a times a, that's a squared. Okay? All right. Nice. Good job, Big Al. Job, rah-rah squared. All right. Who else did I skip? I think I skipped somebody else. Okay, Marbelli, good. Thank you for the follow, everyone. Thank you. All right, Mark Pax, thank you. Okay, you got the squared in there. There you go. Free to be me. Love it. Okay, so 2a times 8a gives me 16a squared. Now when I distribute the 2a to the negative 5, that minus sign is acting as a negative, okay? So 2a times negative 5, that will give me, yes, Normie, love it, negative 10a. Okay, negative 10a. A positive times a negative. When the signs are opposite, your answer is always going to be negative when it comes to multiplication and division. Okay? All right. All right, Faith. Yes, Faith cometh. I appreciate it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. How are we doing? How are we doing? Are we still sticking with me? We're doing all right? Okay. Yes. Thank you. Free to be me. So now we're going to take our negative 1. All right? Okay. I don't know what that chapter is. Because I'm not following a book. So we have negative 1. This time we're going to distribute that negative 1 to everything in that second parenthesis. Okay? So when you multiply by negative 1, you're basically just changing the direction of the signs. Or you're just changing the signs. So here we had a positive 8a. If I multiply by negative 1, that means it's going to be a negative 8a. And here I have a negative 5. If I multiply by negative 1, a negative times a negative gives me a positive 5. Okay. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right. Good, rah-rah, love that. Normie, yes, rah-rah, we're going to combine. Why? What happened? Why did you bomb your test? Got nervous? Wasn't sure? Didn't feel very secure? So, so here, again, right smack in the middle is your like terms. So if we want, we can bring down our 16a squared. We're going to combine negative 10 minus 8. If you owe me $10 and for some sick and twisted reason I loaned you another $8, that means you owe me $18. Okay? And it's just going to be negative 18a. Because when you're adding and subtracting, you're basically keeping your variable. You're not doing anything with any exponents. Then you have your plus 5 that was on the end. So since we have a squared here, we have a here, and no a's there, we cannot combine any of this. Okay. Oh, well, thanks, Creative. I appreciate that. Math teachers unite. Bingo! Who's going to use this outside world? Let's be for real. Here's my thing. Finding out puzzles, that's math. That's what you're doing with these. Like all those little fun puzzles and games that you guys are like, oh yeah, I want to get my, what is it? Oh, my brain. It's like a lot of those matching games that's going on now that people are getting paid for. Like all those things. Yeah, that's polynomials. Multiplying and dividing polynomials. And then you have your matching games. Yeah. What do you think Candy Crush is? All that's out there. But I love how we're like, when we're going to use this in real life. And I'm like, it depends on what your definition of real life is. Because there's a lot of people that's their career. So just because it's not as mainstream and as super, super cool. But I'd rather you know this, because here's my thing. If you haven't noticed, and I told this story before, one of my former students went to get a receptionist job. And she had algebra on her interview. She had to do an algebraic problem on her interview. There was someone else that was getting a job and they put math on the interview as well. And I'm like, people are using this as a way to kind of divide and conquer. So I'd rather you see this and say, you know what, I've seen this before, versus what the hell is this? I don't want that to happen to you. Okay, that's the reason why I do this. I want you to feel empowered. Okay, so even if you're going back to school, if you want to get into the military, if you want to go into nursing, it's almost like every career that's out there, they are putting algebra on those assessments. So I'd rather you say, I've seen this before, than I've never seen this a day in my life. Okay? All right. Yes. Trying to get your GED, pass 3 tests, just need math. All right, Joanne. Oh, sure. How far down do you need, Kiki? Okay, yep, I'm about to do. And if you could put a please on the end of that, I would greatly appreciate that. I just feel like manners just kind of goes out the wayside nowadays, and I'm not about that life. So if you could put a please, I would greatly appreciate that. No problem. Thank you. I appreciate that. 19-year-old asks, how do you remember this? So once you learn it, it's... Yeah, well, for me, like, seriously, if you make a connection to it, you will remember this. Yes, not a problem, Erica. Okay, not a problem, Big Al. Okay, so remember I said there was another way of doing this. So we talked a little bit with the distributive property, especially when we had the binomial. Okay, we did a little bit with foiling, which we're probably going to do another one. But after we do the next one, I'm going to show you what the box method is. Okay? All right, so we didn't do this one. All right, so we have 3m minus 1, and we have 8m plus 7. Okay. I'm going to try to put the previous one up so you have a model to look at to try to solve this one. Just try it. If you get it wrong, that's fine. This is not Squid Games. We're not going to take you out if you get something wrong, okay? So you learn from the mistakes and we move forward, okay? From here on in, everything in your life, you're moving forward. So give it a try. Use this previous one as a model. Let me see. Is it all in there? And give it a try. Let's see what you get for an answer. And if anything, let's see if we can hold our answers for about a minute, okay? I'll let you know in less than a minute. Yeah, I'm actually doing radical equations. What's today? Today's Wednesday. I have it planned for Friday or Saturday because I'm also trying to do like pull-outs, or it's called drop-in sessions. I'm going to explain that in a moment. Okay, hold your answers. Hold your answers. Not a minute yet. Okay. Hold them. Hold it. It's like, oh shoot, I forgot. All right. Let's see what your answers are. Go ahead and put them out. Okay. Well, good, Joseph. That's awesome. Proud of you. I know it's not easy, guys. I know it's not easy, especially if you haven't been in school for a while. To go back to school is not easy. And the pace is mad fast. Like the first day, you're like, all right, I can do this. I feel encouraged. And then by the third class, you're like, what is going on? Because they have to shove like a whole year of math in like 8 weeks. It's crazy. Yep, you're getting your GED. Awesome. Hey, Jan, just watching today? Okay. All right, so let's see what people have. So many things keep popping all over here. Okay, so born to be free. Born to be me. Definitely not. Free to be me. 24m squared plus 21m. Then Kai has 24m squared plus 13m minus 7. Faith cometh has 24m plus 21m. Rara saying 24m squared plus 13m minus 7. Kai switched it up to 24m squared plus 13m minus 7. Mia 24m squared plus... is that plus 1? Okay. Plus 13m... I think there's a minus in there too. 13m minus 7. Big Al 24m squared. Again with the plus minus. Or am I losing my mind? Plus 21m minus 8m. So Big Al, you can combine those two. The 21 and the minus 8m minus 7. Isaac, 24m squared plus 13m minus 7. Marvelli, 24m squared minus 29m minus 7. Okay, we're getting our GED, and then my computer just went crazy. Hold on. All right. Okay, just getting done with class. Okay. Been 30 years since I did this in school. Enjoyed the content. Oh, thanks, Jen. Appreciate it. You know, a little piece. A little something, a little nostalgia. It's been a while, but I got it. There you go, Kevin. All right, so Faith, 24m squared plus 21. Okay, free to be me, 24m squared plus 21m minus 8m, which you can combine the 21 and the 8m. Practicing for the ASVAB. All right, awesome. Lisa, we got 24m squared plus 13m minus 7. Jen, and then my computer went crazy again. 24m squared plus 13m minus 7. Joanne, 24m squared plus 13m minus 7. You're doing positive and negative. Working my brain, H out. Yes. Yes, definitely. 24m squared minus 28 minus 7. Okay, 24 squared. Okay, let's take a look. So, first things first, I'm the realist. Okay, sorry. It's like engraved in my head because I remember when it came out and I was in the classroom and the boys will always say it. And I was just like, it's engraved in my head. Anywho, so 3m times 8m. We do get our 24m squared. Okay. Now, 3m times 7. Both of them are positive, so it'll be plus 21m. So now, oops, sorry. Now we're going to take this negative 1 and we're going to distribute that on both of these terms. So like I said, anytime you multiply by a negative 1, you're basically changing its signage. So this was a positive 8m, now it is a negative 8m. See if I can raise this up a little bit. Okay, then we had a negative 1 times 7. That gives me a negative 7. So as I mentioned earlier, right smack in the middle, okay, those are going to be your like terms. So if I combine, I have 21 minus 8. Think of it this way. Think of money. You had $21. Good job, you're rich. Okay, then you minus 8. Okay, so that means you're still in the plus. Good job, especially nowadays, it's crazy. So that'll be 13m. Now, this minus 7 comes down. That's where the minus 7 come from. And then our 24m squared, that comes down. And since we have an m squared, we have an m, and we have a constant, that's as far as we can go. Okay. Oops. All right. How are we doing? You can do keep, change as well. Yes, China. Good job. Okay. Take the sign of the bigger number. Yep, when you're combining, yes. Okay, when you're combining, or adding or subtracting, yes. All right. All right, thanks so much for the follow. Okay. Why do you say you're feeling bad, Vanessa? What's going on? Talk to me. You thought I was just going to skate on by and not see your name? See, for me, I try my hardest. Sometimes the screen, it's hard for me to do the problem and then look at the screen on my laptop. I'm going to tell you, it has been a challenge, but I tried to get everyone's names. So sometimes if it's a little slow, I want you to be represented, okay? You are here. I see you. So if you're having problems, please, 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 let me know, okay? No problem. What are you saying sorry for? Yep. No problem. I make it easy. I tried to. Is this college algebra? Parts of it, Brahma. It really is. It's really supposed to be Algebra 1. College algebra, especially the first few weeks of the class, really hits heavy on the Algebra 1 component. And some parts of Algebra 2. This is usually like second semester Algebra 1. Like when we get into factoring and breaking down polynomials, it's usually like around like third quarter. Okay. What about the 3m minus 1? What about the 3m minus 1? How did you get the answer? Okay, we distribute it. So we took that first term in the first parenthesis and distribute and multiplied it to everything in that second parenthesis. That's what we got. That's in red. What's in black is us taking that -1 and multiplying it to everything in that second parenthesis. That's how we got everything in black. Okay, not a problem. Oh, thanks for the ice cream cone. That's why I like to watch. Yep, it is called the FOIL method. Okay. Yep. I see a lot of people call it the FOIL method, but what I keep seeing, especially like for the GED and the ASVAB, especially when you haven't been in school for a while, you have the tendency to try to memorize every formula known to man, and you're going to make yourself crazy. Like, no, okay? So sometimes it's like absorb what's happening, and then when you look at problems, we're going to try to do the process of elimination, because they're going to give you some formulas, but at the same time, they're not going to give you every formula. So try not to sit here and memorize every formula. You're going to lose your mind. Okay? All right. The -7 question mark. What's wrong with the -7? What's my recommendation for third grade math? I am not the one to ask. The person that I would suggest to ask is my friend Bridget Halster. She just started her TikTok as well. Literally, when I say it's about a month now. And I think her thing is read math, and I wish she had like names that's so easy to say. I have to look it up. If anything, DM me so I can send you her information and you can ask her, because she's all about elementary school kids. I'm not. I'm not. All right. Okay. Now, so here's the other way. So this was the FOIL. This was the distributed way. The other way is called, I know it as the box method. Now I'm starting to realize that, yes, Audrey, suck it up, you are old. So sometimes people like to show things in a different way. So when I do the box method, let me rewrite the problem so you can see it. So we had 3m minus 1 and 8m plus 7. So we have a binomial, so that's two terms. And we have a binomial, that's two terms. So that's telling me if I'm going to do the box method, I need to do a 2 by 2 box. And what that means, I need 2 rows and 2 columns. So here's 2 rows, 2 columns. Okay, you might want to just sit and watch if this is the first time you're seeing this. Okay, don't try. I'll give you time to copy and take pictures and all that stuff. So just sit and watch, relax. Okay, it's like watching a movie. The first term, I like to put on the side, but it really doesn't matter. Okay, you can have this term on the side here. You can have this term up top here. Me personally, I kind of like to keep a flow. So I take the first parenthesis and I put it along the side there. Then I take the second parenthesis and I like to put it up top here. If you decide to put it down below, It's the same blessed thing. Okay, so let me zoom just a hair. Okay, so I took this first parenthesis, put it along the side. The second parenthesis, put it along top. Now, to fill your boxes, you need to multiply to fill the box. So to fill this box, I'm taking my 8m times my 3m. So 8 times 3 gives me 24. And m times m gives me m squared. To fill this box, I need to multiply 7 times 3m. So 7 times 3m, that gives me 21m. To fill this box, I need to multiply 3m times -1, and 8m times -1. That gives me -8m. And to fill this box, I need to multiply 7 times -1. And 7 times -1 gives me -7. So to fill the boxes, I need to multiply. But then take a look right here on this diagonal. I have my like terms. Okay, so I always start with the number with the highest degree when I'm about to write my final answer. So I write my 24m squared. Then I combine 21 plus -8, or you can think of it this way, 21 minus 8. It's going to be the same thing, which is a positive 13m. And then what's left over is my constant, which is a -7. And if you notice, one second, you get the same answer. Okay, you get the same answer. Okay, hey, Shakita, how are you? Okay, I like the box method once I saw it. One, because it transcends. You'll probably see something like this in biology. It's called the Punnett square. This is when they start comparing the blue eyes and the brown eyes with the capital B and the small b. Yeah, that's happening here. But you're going to use this, and you can also use it with division. Oh, thank you for the gifts. Appreciate it. You can use it with the division. Okay, you're going to use it again when it's time for you to do some, sometimes for factorings. I've seen people use it for factoring. So it's used multiple periods of math. Okay, but I definitely know you'll see this again in biology. All right. Okay. Yep. Punnett squares, man. Not bad for a math person, right? Okay, but I like to see it. I'm a visual person. That's just me. So sometimes, like the arrows, as much as this is colorful, that's why I like to do. I know I shouldn't do math in ink. I got it. Trust me, I have tons of mistakes in other notes. But you're able to see what's happening so much more when you change the colors. So maybe erasable pens, like that's a hip and happening thing. I remember when erasable pens first came on the scene. It was a hot mess. You just got all these smudges everywhere, and it's like, ugh, I can't do anything with that, right? But now, the technology, so much better. So my suggestion, if you can get into the erasable color pens, change your colors up so it's nice and bright so you can see things. generally helps out a lot. Oh, Johnny, yay. What's your favorite meal? Let me see. I feel like I missed so much conversations. You're doing adult high school diploma, learning Algebra 1s, making you crazy. Oh, Jocelyn, don't worry. Hey, Kathy. Do I do college algebra lives? I am trying. See, here's my thing. I want to do a pull-out sessions, which I probably am going to get dinged for. I want to do something that it's going to be like I get you some general information, but then I can do something on a different place to actually give you more time, and I'll give you more examples. I don't mind doing group-wise college algebra, but it seems like no one wants that. And when I do something that's a little more advanced, all of a sudden everyone leaves. And then I'll have maybe I don't know, 50 people, which is great. I'm still happy about that. I'm still happy with people that come in. But I still want people to kind of do it. So I don't know. That's what's so frustrating, because I want to set something up, but I don't want to do all this work, and then people yeah, I really want to do it. And then when it's time for them to do it, oh, I don't feel like doing it. And I'm like, you mean to tell me I stayed up all night making sure all this stuff is ready just for you to kind of shung it? And then I just get in a mad depression. Okay, so your math class tomorrow. Good. Oh, thank you. All right. The two forms of operation. Yep. Okay, it is helpful. Good. This way is better. Awesome. I don't know what just happened here. All right. Yeah, because really, a lot of the stuff that I do here is originally supposed to help people that's going after the GED. But there's a lot of components that's very similar with the ASVAB, the Accuplacer, the TEAS test, the IBEW, the almost any standardized test. SAT, they just take the basic concepts and they have you think outside the box. Whereas the ACT is very closely related to how it is taught in the classroom. So that's why, if you're an English language learner, and you want to go to college and you want to take a test, don't take the SAT, take the ACT, because that's more geared to how you actually learned it in the classroom. But again, it also depends on the college of what they're accepting. Not everybody takes the SAT, especially after the pandemic. A lot of schools still hasn't transitioned over to SATs yet. So there are some schools out there that's not taking the SATs. They're looking at your grades. They're looking at what else you're willing to, what type of person you are. So they're doing interviews. Okay. Okay, so let me do another one. Don't be so nice. I know. Trust her. Porque no. Okay. I know. But see, my thing is, I try not to let people mistake my kindness for weakness, but when I get off these lives, yeah, I get into a funk. Here's one. Ooh, got real blurry for a second. I'm so sorry. God's probably like, nope, I created you like this. Now, this one, it gets a lot of people. And I know for sure there's someone out there that's like, oh, this is easy. It's 16p squared minus 1. No, plus 1. You're missing a huge chunk. Okay, we're missing a huge chunk. Oof. Yeah, Jan, don't say that. Do what makes a profit for you. Well, before you say that, that means this will have to stop. And I know we don't want to do that. Right. Okay, so Isaac, what are you saying? Sorry. Okay. Yes. Okay, so this time you're multiplying it to itself. Okay. Okay. Time I'm trying. Okay. So each number. So this is what happened after high school. All right, Script and Styles, we got this. So this right now, instead of just having one number, let me say right here, instead of just having, say, -4, okay, or -4x being my base, we have a whole expression. So we are basically writing out this base twice. So it's 4p minus 1 times 4p minus 1. So trust and believe. GED, ASVAB people, they always have one of these problems in there. Okay? Always. They'll sneak it in there. I'm going to kind of cover this side up so it won't get too distracting. All right? So basically, we're multiplying this base to itself. This is telling you how many times you're going to multiply that base. Twice. Now, we're doing the distributive property. So we have our 4p. We're going to multiply that 4p to everything inside of the second parenthesis. Okay. Yep. Yes, give it your best. I love the encouragement that you guys have here. Thank you. So 4p times 4p. That will give us our 16p squared. But this is the part that was missing earlier. We got to get that middle term. So we have 4p times -1. So a positive times a negative is a negative. And it's a negative 4p. Okay. There you go. It's Riley. Good. They would cancel each other out if one was positive and one was negative. So thank you for saying that. Okay. But right now, they're both negative. They're both the same sign, so they won't cancel out. Okay? So now we're going to take our -1 and distribute it to everything inside of that parenthesis. So -1 times 4p gives me a -4p. And -1 times -1 gives me a +1. So right smack here in the middle, there's our like terms. So we bring down our 16p squared. -4 minus 4, they're both negative, so combine them. Okay, you owed me $4. Now you owe me another $4. So that means you owe me $8. Then we bring down the +1. Okay. So we don't have any more like terms to combine. So we got our 16p squared minus 8p plus 1. Okay, there you go, Big Al. Good. Makes so much sense. Good. So first, when you see anything raised to the second power like this, you have to write it out twice so you can do your foiling or distribution. Okay, so if you see it as 4p minus 1 squared, and you like the box method, well, when you break it up, you're going to have 4p minus 1 and 4p minus 1. So you're going to have a binomial multiplied by a binomial. So a 2 by 2 box. So that means two rows, 2 columns. So it doesn't matter which one, but I got my 4p minus 1 here and my 4p minus 1 there. Okay. Once you solve it using the distribution or the FOIL, you don't have to do the box too. Please, like, pick which one that you feel comfortable with. So how do I get the square? Because p times p. So if you have 1p times 1p, that means there's 2 p's. Okay, so that's how you would get the square. No, Lenny, you can do it with a binomial and a trinomial. You can do it with a monomial and a polynomial. I was going to do a couple crazy ones on the next page. Okay, so there's limitless. So again, here to fill the boxes. So to fill this box, we got 4p times 4p. So that gives us 16p squared. To fill this box, -1 times 4p, which gives me -4p. To fill this box is 4p -1. That's a -4p. And to fill this box, you do -1 times -1. That gives me a +1. So now, starting with my highest degree, that's the first number that I'm writing down. So my degree is also known as the exponent. So if you ever said, like, what's a degree? Okay, so it's the exponent. Then if you notice, right here on the diagonal, we got our like terms. So we have -4p minus 4p. That gives me -8p. And then what's left over is our +1. Okay. Good. How are we feeling? Okay, thank you everybody for joining and staying. Can we simplify any further? No, we can't. I know it's tempting because you're seeing the 16 and the 8. You're like, oh, okay, they both have 8 in common. No, because 1 has to be a factor as well. So since this is a p squared, that's a p, and this doesn't have a p, they don't have anything in common. This is as low as it goes. Okay, easy peasy. Well, good. I gotta learn more in 5 minutes than I did in 3 weeks of school. I just try to keep it simple. I know there's some people that are very math oriented and they're just like, but you need to explain it, math. No, stop. There's tons of people that makes math crazy. And it really is. It can be a beautiful thing. Yes, there's math terminology, but you have to be comfortable in order to learn. That's the one thing I've learned. Like, in order for you to learn and to absorb, you have to feel comfortable and safe in your environment. And a lot of schools, not just nowadays, I mean, even when we were in school, never really felt like safe because there was always someone there to ridicule you. There's always like some teacher that want to be Joe Cool. For people that don't know Joe Cool, look it up. Just look it up. And want to like see if they can make the class laugh at your expense. Yeah. So we've all had like an experience that was hurtful. And I think that's what brings everyone here. And I think that's what helps everyone to stay, because now we got someone that's willing to break it down and ask or answer your questions that you've always wanted to ask and feel safe to do that. Okay, so that's what this platform is. And as I always said, I know I should be unapologetic. I shouldn't have to explain myself, but I don't know. Sometimes I like to. You know, if this goes too slow, hey, thank you for coming in. Thank you for participating. But I'm not going to speed things up just because you want it. I think there's plenty other people that are doing the same thing that I'm doing, but I like to take it a little bit slower. Okay. Do I solve linear equations? Actually, I did that. And that's another thing that I can tell you before I get to the next part, and I'll show you in box method. Now, if it's a little late of where you're at, okay, and maybe you want to see the replays of this because you're trying to write down the notes and you're getting a cramp. You can go here, type in this, and look up TikTok replays. Okay, so if you look up TikTok replays, you'll actually see all of my recordings. Slide that over so you can see a little bit better. You'll actually see all of my recordings from February 2nd, because that's when I started taking my lives a little more serious, because I really wanted to do something that was beneficial. And so if anything, we've done everything with just adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing integers, fractions, decimals. We've done percents. We've done linear equations. We were working on graphing yesterday. We do some point slope. We did point slope going into standard form so we can graph the equations. What else? Slope itself, system of equations. I think I said matrices we've done. We haven't done that in a while. I might bring that back too. Rational operations, so radical operations, rational functions, probability, anything you think of. That's basically going to be in the GED and the ASVAB. It's there. Okay? So you have something as another resource. I try to come on every day. I'm trying to get a schedule together. I'm really trying to possibly do some pullouts with the ASVAB, but I just can't wrap my head around it because my schedule is starting to fluctuate, and I know people's schedule are fluctuating, but I'm trying. I'm just trying. All right, that's all I'm doing. I'm trying to do God's work. It's not easy. It's not easy. But I do online tutoring, so if you need someone, I do from 7th grade to adults. So if anybody that's doing college algebra, you know, if you give me a sense, we might be able to get a group together. Algebra 1, Algebra 2, college algebra, trig, geometry, pre-calculus, not that AP pre-calculus stuff. No. So as I said, the GED, the ASVAB, the IBEW, Praxis, if it's the Praxis 1, any nursing entry, or even high school entry, because some people don't do it as GED. They just have other letters of the alphabet to represent that. So since we're here, since if you do like my notebooks that I'm doing this in, I actually designed this notebook. Okay, so to give people a section, a place for them to put their formulas, a place for them to put their steps, and actually to organize it a little bit. So yes, it has like 100 pages of it, and you can take like maybe papers that you currently have, maybe tape some of it on one side, and then try to do the breakdown of it on the other side. Now, not only does it have this, it also has resource pages. So for those that struggle with finding their factors when you're trying to, factor out a trinomial, if you're trying to find a GCF, the LCM, even breaking down radicals, I have all the factors from 1 to 200, okay, already listed here. The certain words, terminology for word problems. We have squares and cubes and cube roots. We have rules for integers. We have inequalities, interval notation. We actually went over that a couple days ago. Order of operations, properties of exponents. Every time you guys ask me, why is it x squared? Because an x times an x, 1 plus 1 gives me 2. That gives me my x squared. Linear and quadratic equations, fraction operation, decimal operation, what to do when you add, subtract, multiply, and divide decimals, place values, okay? We have our fractions, how to go from a percent to a decimal to a percent, arithmetic or geometric sequence, the measures essential tendencies, graphing linear inequalities, system of inequalities, system of equations, area, perimeter, and then Pythagorean theorem, trig, and then conversion charts, okay? All this is really designed for my Algebra and my Algebra 1 students. I do have one for Algebra 2 and pre-calculus. So it talks about sine, cosine, and tangent. You actually do the sine waves, the law of sine, the law of cosine. But you can have all your notes listed in one area. So if you love that, this is the best time to do it, because all of my books, I'm going to show you another one later on, but all of my books are on sale at $10.29, so $10.29. Okay, but you can only go here for the deal. It is available on the A, the brown box with the smile, but that discount is not on the A. Okay, it's only here. Okay, so if you want to screenshot that, you can screenshot it, because I'm going to put it down in about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. All right. Getting it tonight, not a problem. Yeah, it takes roughly about a week for it to come through. Yeah, I'm not the one that's like, it's like print on demand. But it's always nice to have. Like, this is like my 6th book. So, since I've been doing TikTok lives. I think it's raining. All right. So, I think it was it Lenny? I think it was Lenny that asked me if we can do the box method if we can only do it in binomials. And I said no. Computer says no. I would be so impressed if everybody knows what that is. The computer says no. If not, that's okay. All right, so let me go with the original equation. And I'm going to show you with the box method. All right, so we have 7k minus 3 times k squared minus 2k plus 7. Now, as you can see, we have 2 terms, so this is a binomial. In this second parenthesis, there's 1, 2, 3 terms. This is a trinomial. So we have to make a 2 by 3 box. The first one always deals with the rows, and the second one always deals with the columns. So just in case you're like, how do I know? This is how you know, okay? So you could You're not going to do FOIL, but you could do the distributive property. You can take that 7k and distribute to everything in that second parenthesis. You can take this -3 and distribute to everything in the parenthesis. But the more terms that you get, the more arrows you're going to have, the more craziness that you're going to see in front of you, right? So this is why I want to have 2 rows. I'll make it a little bit bigger. And I'm going to have 3 columns. Okay, so I come right here. Here's my 2 rows. Then I have here, here. Not so much even, but you know. Then I have my 1, 2, 3 columns. So columns go up and down. Rows go left to right. Okay. So we want to get our binomial off to the side. So we have our 7k here and -3. What's going to go on top is your trinomial. So that means you have k squared here minus 2k here plus 7. And let me pause for questions. Okay. Oh, it was Lenny. Okay, thank you, Lenny. All right. Yes, thank you so much for the tapping, guys. I appreciate it. I know you're like trying to learn, and you're like, how can I learn and tap at the same time? The conundrum. It's craziness. All right. So this is what we're going to do, just like how we did before. We have to multiply to fill the boxes. So to fill this box, it's k squared times 7k. What's k squared times 7k? I'm curious. Very curious. K squared times 7k. Okay. Hey, Princess. Princess says 49k. Yes. Oh, thank you for doing that. Then we have 7k cubed. Okay. Then we have 7k cubed. We'll put it on tab. Earl saying 7k cubed, Kate, Jen 7k cubed, Vanessa 7 times 7. Careful. Crystal saying 8k squared. Now if we're going to 8, make sure you multiply those. Okay, Lenny says 7k cubed. 2 quarts. Catering says 7k cubed. Good. Okay, 7k cubed. Nice. 7k cubed. I want to say Kib, but I have to probably look at your name again. All right. So when you come in here, when you multiply, you add your exponents. Multiply the numbers, but add the exponents. If you don't see an exponent, it's assumed to be a 1. Okay, so if you're wondering where the 3 is coming from, because 2 plus 1, that's where the 3 comes from. So for me to fill this box is negative 2k times 7k. So I'm not squaring the 7. Again, if you don't see anything in front as a coefficient, it's assumed to be a 1. So 1 times 7, that's where the 7 comes from. So now here we got negative 14k squared. It's k times k gives me k squared. All right. So here we have 7 times 7k. This is going to be 49k. Okay. We always try to start with the highest degree. So k squared times negative 3. That gives me negative 3k squared. To fill this box is negative 2k times negative 3. Negative times negative gives me a positive. 2k times 3 gives me 6k. And then lastly, multiply a positive 7 times a negative 3. A positive times a negative will give me a negative, and 7 times 3 will give me 21. I should put a plus sign here. Okay. All right. Your fingers hurt. Okay. After this one, we'll do a math tab. Okay. So now, just as I mentioned before, sometimes the diagonals, sometimes the like terms will be on the diagonal. Sometimes it's a little bit shifted, but you always look k squared, you're going to combine with k squared. The k, you're going to combine with the k. So we're going to start with the highest degree. Now the highest degree has my 7k cubed. So negative 14 plus a negative 3, that gives me a negative 17k squared. So when you're adding and subtracting, you're not doing anything with the exponents except for to find it as your match. Like, what will be my match? So if you owe me $14 and for some sick and twisted reason I load you another $3, that means you owe me $17. And we're just bringing the k squared for the ride. Okay. So now we got our 49 and our 6. Okay. They both have a k, so we're good to go. So both are going to be positive. So we got 49 plus 6. 55? Yeah. So it'd be 55k, not 55k squared, just 55k. And then what's remained is my negative 21. That comes on down. And this is your final answer. Okay. All right. So there's like 365 of us. Could we do a mad tap while we're doing this? I appreciate the gifts. Especially Janice is like, I'm getting cramp. Yep, not a problem, Lenny. Not a problem. Okay. I was like, oh, thank you for the gifts. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so this, you can do the box method for anything. If you have like 5 terms. That's why sometimes, not so much GED. I don't know about the AccuPlacer, but I know SAT, they might try to do this when you have not only a binomial times a trinomial, it'll be a trinomial times a trinomial. And we all know all these assessments are timed. And I think a lot of us, especially when it comes to the time factor, we freak out because there is a clock going, and if I don't get it done, I'm going to freak out. But GED, you basically have like a minute 12. ASVAB, you have like a minute 7, I think that was, per question. There's going to be some questions that you're going to know right away just by looking at it. Don't second guess yourself. Just put the answer down, keep it moving, right? Then all that time that you saved from that one question, you could apply it to a question down the road that you need a little more extra thinking about. So if the first 5 questions are mad easy, Okay, now you saved yourself time in order to apply to the other problems. Okay. So for college algebra, I would get, so you're thinking about Audrey's notes. For Audrey's notes. I mean, there's like a mixture of stuff, but it does have matrices in here. Yeah, I would actually say 3. Yeah, I would actually say 3 because you got probability in here as well, the counting principles, as well as factoring, and some basic stuff. And there's actually some 4-point questions for geometry and some rational expressions. Yeah, 3 or 4. So like if what I'm talking about, like if you want my notes and don't worry about getting your own notebook, I have something called Audrey's Notes. So with Audrey's Notes, you actually get a color copy of my notes from my lives. I just basically scanned all of them and just made books into them. So this one has like sine, cosine, tangent. And what you notice on the very bottom, there's a QR code. This QR code will take you directly to my video that is associated, or the live that's associated with this topic. So I know, but see, for me, my books are like sporadic. It's not like, okay, let's talk about slope. Let's talk about equation of line. Okay, let's talk about inequalities. Like a curriculum, I jump around. Because if you need someone to physically guide you, that's where my tutoring service kicks in. Or if you're new to it and you really want to do well, but you want to have a course, I do offer courses. Okay, so I do have some courses that literally has like 107 different, let me show you. I mean, I'm constantly putting stuff together. Hence, no sleep. Okay, so this is an example of my course. My course has all these topics, everything from basic math all the way to probability. So probability, also the circle graph, the line graphs, frequency tables, and I have like instructional videos. They're like 20 minutes long. You can fast forward, you can rewind, you can pause. My suggestion is, like, say we're doing a problem, and like before we do any of the work, pause the video, try to do it yourself, and then play. And then you using the video as an answer key. But it also gives you practice sheets as well as quizzes. And all that's listed in there. So if you're interested in a course, let me know. And just message me. That's all I'm asking you guys. Just message me. I will message you back. We might even come on a phone conversation. I like to make sure that you're going to be okay. Okay, that's all I ask. Okay. Bring that back. Bring what back? What am I bringing back? Is this good for adults to help? I can help my son in middle school. Oh, yes. And plus, all of my books are... where'd it go? All of my books and the courses, it's me. So it's not someone else. You see how I break down concepts? But if you want to go with the books and do the remediation, all the books are like $10.29. Okay, after September, it's going back to like $22, $23. So, and it also has the percentage, which a lot of ASVAB has percentage increase and decrease. They definitely have that in there as well. So if you want the course that takes you through step by step to help you, especially homeschool parents, yep, just let me know. Okay. The book. Bringing it back. General, how are you? Oh, nice. Oh, thanks. Okay, not a problem, Lenny. Thank you for stopping in. I greatly appreciate you. But again, because I'm basically going to be wrapping up too. Shoot, it's like 11:38, and plus it's starting to rain, and my cat's outside. She's all right. She's a tough old thing. But she'll be cursing me out, a storm. As soon as I open the door. I'm like, well, I told you not to go outside. But, who am I to tell a cat to do whatever? Okay. Right? Okay. I'm okay. You came up with, how would you solve the K solution? This thing? Okay. So you came a little late. So come here. Give me about a couple hours and you guys can see the video recording of this. So I would love to say, Vanessa, what is tomorrow? Tomorrow is Thursday. So my next live, that will be at 9:30. I'm actually thinking about doing my live drop-ins. So I'm doing drop-ins for ASVAB. I want to do lives for college algebra, but I don't know how many people need it and if people really going to need it. But I'm also, like, all the content that we're doing here is basically GED heavy. Anything that's dealing with multiplying like this is like a 3-point question. Well, this will be considered a 4-point question. But like this with the multiplying, that would be considered a 3-point question. Okay? This or this will be considered a 2-point question. So hitting on as many concepts, and I'm going to be doing some more pullouts where I'm actually going to take old release GED, old release ASVAB. Actually, I'm going to be using this lovely thing. This lovely thing. Okay, so if you're taking the ASVAB, I'm going to tell you this is the book. Okay, but I know a lot of people don't like it, and this is the reason why. Okay, this is the math section. Look at all this. Who's going to read all that? That's intimidating for anyone, okay? God forbid if you had like a learning disability when you were in school. God forbid if, hey, we're older and we like to get things right here, right now. We learned that as we gotten older, like instant gratification. We want to get it done. But when I see all of this, you shut down, right? So wouldn't it be nice to have someone that can actually break down concepts and be able to design like mini stuff, like, and go over some of these problems. And then here's the thing. If you're thinking about buying this ASVAB for dummies, it doesn't matter which year you get. Okay, this one is 2025, 2026. The interior is exactly the same for 2024 and 2023. I noticed that. So if you want to get an older book and it's cheaper from the A, do that. It's the same interior. Exact same interior. It's just different years. Different covers. Okay? I'll be the spoiler. Okay. But there, college algebra. College algebra? Mm-hmm. Or math. Stars? What's that? Oh, stars in Texas? Vanessa? Because I don't know what math 119 is. But we'll have fractions. Yeah, we'll be talking about fractions. Okay. Yep. I've actually helped a couple students with the stars. Or a couple of people with the stars. Sorry. Still need to be finished. Nope. That was the answer. Q News 5. When we got down here, that's it. Because this had K to the third, K to the second, K, and a constant. You can't combine any of them because they're not like terms. Okay. All right. So if you are thinking about statistics, that's not my jam. Vanessa's like, how about fractions? I was like, I can do fractions. I can do basic statistics. That's in the course as well. Okay, you used to live in Dallas? Oh, okay. I think I had a couple. Had one in Waco. That was a while ago. Is it Galveston? There was some places that's outside of Dallas. Okay. All right. Live in San Diego now. Okay. Yeah, I'm starting to get clients in California. Yep. Last night I had a client at California, and I did tutoring at 11:30 at night. Hi. How you doing? Love that time zone. Love it. But she was an awesome kid, so it didn't bother me. It didn't bother me at all. All right. Any other questions? So I'll be on tomorrow night at 9:30. I'm thinking about starting my pull-out stuff on Saturday. I'm just going to do it. And it's literally, I'm going to do a couple of problems, and I say, hey, do you guys want to dig deeper? If you do, I'll tell you where to go. There's a payment. It's like $5. Like literally it's $5. And we'll walk through so many steps and dig deeper and talk a little bit more about word problems and talk a little bit more about, especially GED, hit on some of those 3 and 4 point questions. And for the ASVAB, like really go through ASVAB for Dummies. I hate the name of that thing. But ASVAB for Dummies, and like hit on some of those concepts. And every session, I'm just trying to do it for the month of September, just to see if this is something that I should stick with or I should add to my repertoire. Okay. Yep. Okay, to the last page. Okay. Okay, you did fill it out? Okay. All right, thank you. So I can come and reach out to you. Okay, not a problem. Not a problem. Yep. You will subscribe? Okay. Yes. So if you're really into like getting if you want to do the course, like the major course where all 107 videos and all that, you just have to go here. But if the pullout, I'm literally going to go live and I'm going to do some things in the beginning just to warm up. And then I'm literally going to shut the live. Yeah, it's going to be like cut off. I love you guys dearly, but 1, financially, it will be helpful for me. 2, it will be helpful for you guys. So now I can dig deeper, because some people will be like, I'm so lost, and then they leave. And I'm like, oh, I feel bad. But then there's some people that we just need to dig a little deeper with. And if you're serious about it, come on in. All right. So, would this be an Algebra 1? For the one that I'm talking about for ASVAB, it's going to be a combination. Algebra 1, some geometry, the whatever that's being addressed in the ASVAB. Because lately, I've been getting some success stories, which is awesome. So, and just different ways onto how to take the test. Instead of sitting here trying to memorize everything. You're going to lose your mind if you try to memorize everything. You just have to expose yourself to certain things. Okay? Trust me. All right. Oh, you're doing the TSI? Okay. Yep. That's like the high school equivalent. Is that right? I know. There's so many letters. So many letters. All right, Jen. Thank you so much, Jen. Not a problem. You're more than welcome to come back. Just let me know. Let me know how I can help. Alrighty. Yeah, I'm done, Drake. I'm sorry. I am whooped. And then plus I need to go outside and get my cat because it's raining. Okay. All right. So plus I need time to download and upload and all this stuff. So, but we're going to have to be up for a bit for me to get all this stuff. And it's almost midnight. So here we go. All right, so for next time, I'll see you 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I forgot what we're going to be doing, but I think it's going to be dealing something with radicals. I think that's what I said. Radical operations. So adding, subtracting with radicals, possibly simplifying. We'll see how far we can go. All righty. All right. Good night, and if you do have any questions, please do not hesitate to message me. Okay, I also check for people that are requesting messages, so message me. Okay, message me. Click on the Service Plus for if you can email me through there as well. Okay, just click the Service Plus button. It's like at the bottom of your screen. And if you click on that, you can just fill in the information and we can go from there as well. Alrighty? All right. Have a lovely evening. Thank you so much for coming in, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. All right. Good night.